I don't know why my lighting on here is so.
We are live
Hey y'all,
and in living color.
and live. You know that song was just in my head. You
Was
can
it?
do what you wanna do and live in color.
Ah,
Uh,
ah,
uh,
ah,
and
ah.
live in color.
I
I do not
loved
have the
it.
rights to this music or whatever.
That was that was the show back in the day. Greetings and salutations, good people. Speak to
Hi
us if
guys.
you come in. Say hi. Say hi. We're so happy that you're here.
Yes,
Greetings, everyone. We're going to give people a minute or so to come on in. While we're waiting, if you don't mind, go ahead and share with your people. Share the live with your folks and let them know we're about to get this conversation started. Um,
okay.
yeah,
Jeez.
invite,
Hey.
invite. Hello, hello. Hi. So glad y'all are here. Feel free, and if you don't mind sharing the live. And if you haven't, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page, y'all. Please make sure you subscribe.
Please.
We would really appreciate it.
Yes.
We are trying to build this following, but listen, y'all are on the ground floor. Like y'all are our first followers. We are up to what? We're short of 200 yet,
Yes.
right? We're short of 200, but we are blessed with every single person that follows and wants to be a part of this good love journey with us. So it's always good to be on the ground floor, right?
Right.
So yeah. Uh-oh. Here I go. Here I go with my rookie mistakes.
It's okay.
My rookie mistakes. Yes.
Hey, Jonathan. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Alaya. Am I saying your name right, Alaya? Hi, Lola. Hey, Keandra. Thank y'all for coming in today, spending your Tuesday evening with us. Got a great
Yes.
topic to discuss, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Excuse me if I'm sniffing and stuff. My allergies, I don't know if I'm getting older, they're getting worse. I don't know what it is, but as these last couple of weeks has been like really bad. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, like my I can't breathe. Like it's one nostril at a time.
Oh my.
One nostril be stopped up, and the next day the other nostril be stopped
We need
up.
to get some of that peppermint oil and open these
Right. Oh yes, yes,
open
something.
it up. Welcome, good people.
Okay, so
Welcome,
that's my name right.
everybody. We are so glad that you're spending this evening with us, unwinding, because we have a great topic as usual for you all. And so, thank you so much for being here. As we said, a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the page and also
Yes.
like this video because it helps other people to see. From what I understand, child, we still new to this YouTube streets and trying to learn the scope of the land, right? So
Mhm.
but we're going to jump right into it. It's a few minutes after the hour. What we are talking about tonight is successful Black women marrying white men. We can also add just non-Black men because child Asian men,
Uh-huh.
Indian men,
Everything but black.
everything. And it have the tables turned. So let's jump right into this, sis.
Okay.
Have you heard this statement or something to this effect?
Okay.
When Black men become successful, some, many of them choose to marry or partner with white women instead of Black women.
Yes.
You've heard that.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
I've noticed it.
You've noticed it. Okay.
I've heard it and I've noticed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do tell. Like, do you feel like it's a trend? Like that's kind of like one goes with the other. Success goes with
I honestly, so okay, I forgot what that actor's name was. but it was an actor from back in the day. It started back in, like, this isn't something new. So this has started way back when. And I remember there was an article that came out. I forgot which Hollywood actor it was. It was a black man, but he said that in order for him to be successful in Hollywood, he had to be with a white woman so she could help him grow. So a lot of the black men, like Stacy Portier or whatever, he was with a white woman, right?
Stacy Portier?
What? Am I
Sydney?
saying his name? Sydney.
Sydney. Give it to me. Give me the card now. Pass it through the screen.
No, I'm showing my age. Sydney Portier. Okay, rewind. Sydney Portier. Then he was with a white woman, right?
Yeah, his first wife was black, from what I understand, if I remember correctly. And then, yes, I think his last wife was
Was
white.
a white woman. Okay, so this has started way back in the day where they feel like in order for them to get to a certain level in Hollywood, that they had to connect with a white woman because she is like her she is the golden ticket to where they need to go.
Mhm.
I still feel like that mentality is a little bit there because I do feel that black men they get to a certain level or they make a certain amount of money and they start going into different circles where probably that circle is not uh, predominantly black. It's probably mostly white people on that level because most of the people who are rich in this world, black people, there are rich black people, but it's still a lot of rich white folks when it comes to that world. So I feel like they think they have to be with a white woman or to be accepted in those circles, they have to be with a white woman.
Mhm.
I personally think that black women dating white men, the reasoning for it is not necessarily the same.
Okay. Okay. What? Okay. What? Okay. So before you go
Yeah.
into that,
I'm
let
trying to
me
stick to your subjects. I'm trying.
let me ask for those of you all who are watching, please just drop in the comments. Do you think that it is truth to the statement that some, many black men who, when they become successful, choose to partner with white or non-black women? Just chime in the comments, just off the top. Don't think too hard about it.
They're like, well, hold up, so Denzel
Right.
Washington's with a black woman.
Yes. Do you think that it's true that some, many black men, when they become successful, choose to partner with non-black women? So while y'all answering, because y'all slow moving on it, it looks like while y'all answering that question, um, getting back to um successful black women partnering with white men or non-black men, and we just pinpointed white men because that's typically we are usually talking about black and white, but it's just period non-black men. um I think that this actually was a subject that a friend of mine had, sent to me and said, "Hey, I would love for you all to talk about this."
Oh
And I
wow.
believe the catalyst was between our current Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, being married to a white man, as well as the historic I'm about to butcher her name, Katanji Brown Jackson.
I
That
just say Miss
is
Doc. I say Judge Jackson.
Judge Judy Judge
Judge
Jackson,
Jackson.
just judge. And congratulations to her, who is now the first black woman justice in the Supreme Court, which is a huge feat. Um, but she is also married to a white man. Okay.
Mhm, mhm,
So I think that part of the conversation coming up was, okay, it seems like, okay, is this starting to become a trend? Are we seeing more of successful black women partnering with white men or non-black men? Now we can get into some of the why we think that is the case.
mhm,
Let's put let's just say take the romanticism out of it, like, oh, just love.
Mhm.
Okay. Are there other reasons that we think that this seems to be happening, or it's being presented that this is becoming a trend? What do you think, sis?
Um, Outside of the love part, I kind of, so when it comes to the political part of things, I do think that one, it's the people that they are around the most, their circle, who they're connecting with all the time. Also, I feel like it's also a way for them to move up, especially when it comes to politics. Are you trying to get a seat in a table that doesn't have a lot of us at that table? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think it's a mixture of that, of it's helping you connect with people who you probably wouldn't connect with if you had a black man. Unfortunately, this is today's times that we're living in. So
Yeah.
I would she if both of these women had a black family, not necessarily President Obama, because Obama, I feel like if it would have been switched, if he had a white wife, I don't know if he would have been the first president, because the sisters would have been like, see, yeah, if it was
Ah,
so they probably were like, you want to be the first black president, right? You might want to stick to a system. But
yeah.
because he previous of Michelle, to my understanding, he was with a white woman, correct? That's the rule.
Yes, he admitted that he has dated what. Now there are some people, to be fair, there's some people that just like open
Everybody.
a buffet of a buffet of women, a buffet of men.
Mhm.
There's men that date all types of women, and then there's women that date all types of men. So that could have been the case for him. But yes, you are right. He did talk about a relationship with a white woman,
Mhm.
previous to his relationship with
Yeah,
Michelle. So
right.
um
I
so
just think that, just to finish my point, I think that when it comes to the world of politics and trying to get a seat at the table, I do think that black people, in order for them to get there, they do probably feel like they have to marry a certain person or a certain class or someone who's going to help them get that seat.
hmm.
That's I'm just keeping it real. I would love to think it's just love.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
yes, the trophy or a prize. Like, this is my way to getting into the door. I be seeing black men, and I do be rolling my eyes sometimes, because my thing is, if you go marry another race, that's fine. Don't I get irritated if you marry another race because you feel like black women or black men aren't good enough, you know? And
Mhm.
so when you walk around and some of these black men, they have the white girl on their arm and they chest puffed up, looking above your head. I honestly, I don't even look.
Yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. And I know you were really pointing out, okay, Ricky says it's a business deal. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. Um,
Oh.
I know you were pointing out, okay, Dexter, white women can deal with more stuff than black women, period. Okay, so Dexter, you're choosing violence early, huh? Choosing violence or early? Okay, Dexter.
Dexter's
All right.
always been controversial. What's up, Dexter? But can you elaborate on that though? Like, if you're gonna make that statement, I need you to back it up. So, what
Yeah.
do you mean by that?
Yeah, please,
Give
please
an
do.
example.
Speak a
Mhm.
bit more on that. Um, I will say that okay, so you refer to a lot in the political arena. We can talk about, whether it's business, what, because keep it real, when we think about, successful black men, they're successful black men in politics, business, entertainment, sports. These are the main areas when we talk about success, okay?
Mhm.
Um and I I'm a little bit, I used to be that one to say, well, maybe there's some truth to it, but this is what I think. I think that the media pushes a lot of narratives.
Mm,
And the more they show certain things, the more we think that this is the norm, right?
mm,
So I even with this trend of successful Black women
mm,
marrying and partnering with non-Black men. So I came across an article, I think it was in the New York Times, and they were really kind of talking about even in entertainment, depictions of us in entertainment. And what they noticed is that um that some brown to mocha colored Black women are being cast opposite of white and non-black men in romantic relationships. So we can talk the scandals of the world.
mhm.
Insecure, where the Molly character ended up, her man ended up being what, Asian or whatever. I didn't watch it, but
Well, that's not who she ended up with, but yeah, she dated him. Did
okay,
she end up with him? Hold on. No, no, no. She did not end up with him. She ended up with another successful Black lawyer. Her partner.
okay, okay. Good.
Mhm.
Listen, I hope there's no spoilers because I didn't watch. I didn't watch. Okay,
Look,
but
if y'all ain't seen it by now, it's been done over. So
yeah, so that's fine. I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. But the article did point out that she had been partnered with, a non-black man. And then of course an old school throwback, the Jeffersons, hello, the Willis Smith.
oh, you went all the way back.
Now listen, they were way
Really
before
husband and
their
wife,
time.
aren't they? On the
Huh?
Jeffersons, weren't they really husband and wife?
No, they weren't really husband and wife, but she was actually
Hmm.
married to a white man in real life. So Lenny
Lenny Kravitz.
Kravitz is her son, and his dad is white.
Right, right,
It wasn't the actor who played, the
right. Okay.
Willis or whatever. But what I saw, and they had some statistics. They said that 10% of marriages are interracial. Okay,
Mm,
10% of marriages are interracial, and 3% of the interracial marriages are Black women married to white men. Okay.
okay.
So that's still a
A small
small
percentage.
percentage in the big scheme of things. And
Hmm.
even for interracial marriages, it's still not necessarily a norm. Now, I guess it's been growing,
Hmm.
but it's still not the norm if it's
Hmm.
only 10% of new marriages are interracial. So most people are still marrying within their community, right? Black
Right.
folks with black folks, white folks with white folks, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Um, but I think that, like I said, the more that we see the depictions, the more that we see people in, these higher visible positions that's on TV, that's on, whatever. Like I said, we're seeing the new Supreme Court justice, and they're showing her family. You're seeing the current VP, and they're showing her family. Then you're seeing this repeat of image that makes it seem like all of the oh, okay, this is what goes with that. Is this what goes with that? So
Well, I think so based on the media, you're going off of like the rare percentage of Black people in this successful circle. So if you are an actor or an actress and you're on a high level, then your income is also on a high. It's like it's not a common percentage. You're in that small percentile of where it's not a lot of Black people on that level. And I think that is why it's shown on TV the most and why it sticks out the most to us, because Black people who, now we're not talking about just a regular successful Black, when you say successful, I mean, there are successful people, Black people who are doctors and lawyers who are married to Black women, and that is a certain level of success. But the rare part where they're making as much money as rich white people or wealthy white people, when they get to that level, it's like they feel like they have to go white. And I think that's why it sticks out the most with the media, and the media talks about it because it's like, oh, when they're up here, because they're being talked about because they are up there in that high circle of rich wealthy people. I feel like when Black
mhm,
people get wealthy, they do not seem to stick with Black women, specifically
So
Black.
okay, so you're so when we how we're defining success, we're
Mhm.
equating that to financial success. Is that
Mhm.
that's okay?
That's what when and I mean that's the US. That's how they they base success off of money. Let's be honest. It's based off of
Mhm,
money and power. If you want to
mhm,
be realistic, in different people's mindsets, like the way what you consider successful might be different than what I consider. Like everybody's definition of success is different. But based
mhm.
on the masses and what you see on TV and what a lot of people see, they base success off of money and power. So Black people who have a lot of money and have a lot of power and a lot of influence, they seem to go to the direction of white folks, or
Okay.
because they're
Mhm.
in that circle. And I'm talking about like the wealthy Black
So
folks.
you're saying that you feel like it's because that's the circle that they're in, that's who they're surrounded by because of the amount of wealth that they have now acquired. Uh,
Yes, I think it's that, and also that's how they feel like they can get into that circle is by being with someone that looks like that circle. That's what
Interesting.
I personally think when they get to that level. Because if you think about it, I mean, I've read the articles where the Hollywood Black men were like, I got with a white woman, I started dating white women because that's when doors started opening for me once I got with a white girl. And it's, I feel like that mentality has been passed down.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's get into a couple of these comments and then I'm going to make my comment about.
Okay.
Okay, Dexter says white women would make a relationship work if their mate stepped out. White women are more submissive to their mate in certain areas. I dated white women in the past. There's a vast difference. I, Dexter, I have no words for you.
I
I,
don't
I
either.
have no words for you. It's interesting that you've had that experience, but I will tell you that you probably shouldn't judge the whole world based on that experience because I would say it's not true.
And what type of Black women are you dating? Because you got to base it off of your experience. Not saying that you dated some gargoyles and hood rats or whatever, but if you there, I know a lot of Black women who are very submissive and who have, not saying that it's right to stick it out with your man who's cheated. I know a lot of women who left their man because they cheated, but
Mhm.
I know a lot of Black women who have stayed after infidelity. So I don't know why y'all base that on
Yeah,
like
I
other
I feel like
weird.
that is and many black men do not. I'm assuming Dexter is black. Okay. Many black men, okay, let me not say many. Some black men use that as a sticking point. The angry black woman. Black women have
Mhm.
attitudes. Black women are not submissive. And it's simply not a statement of truth across the board. Okay, and really, again, I would say that maybe you need to expand the circle of the type of people that maybe you're interacting with, dating, or whatever the case may be.
I
Because
have
if
a
you,
question.
uh,
I have a question real quick. Who was it that was beating Tiger Woods' car with a what color was she? What
she was
color was she?
she was white. She
She
was
was
white.
white, wasn't she?
She
She
was
was
white.
white. And did she stay with him? Did she stay with him after all the women came out and said that she screwed her husband? I don't think she did.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she chased him with a chased him down the street and was ready to kill the man and beat on his car. Now I could have sworn she was white. Was she white? She was
Yeah,
white.
you're correct. She was
Okay,
white.
I
She
thought
was
so. I
white.
was just maybe I wasn't. Maybe she was a light skinned Black woman with blonde hair. I don't know.
No, no, she
No.
was not. She was
Okay,
white. Right.
got it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really, so we need to stop with the stereotypes, we really need to stop with the stereotypes. So yeah, sorry that you had that experience, but that is not the totality of experiences to be had. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Ricky, by analyzing status data, Tolson and okay, here you go. Tolson and Marks found that 83% of married Black men who earned at least 100,000 annually got hitched to Black women. Okay, so you are basically reinforcing the fact that the stats say that Black men who are, you know, high earners or considered high earners are still choosing Black women.
Can you type in millionaires, Black men who are millionaires and plus? How many of them are married to Black women? I'm really curious because $100,000 is not a lot in today's world. So that's good. That's
Well,
not.
but even though it's not a lot in today's world, it might be not a lot in your world or my world, but there's many people that don't make $100,000.
I
And
know,
so
but when you're talking about when Black men are successful, and that's what I'm saying. I guess we need to kind of emphasize what we're talking about when it comes to success, because my mindset when you're talking about Black men who marry white women, it's the wealthy Black men. And
well,
I've seen a lot of Black men who are on that level, $100,000, making a decent living, who are absolutely married to Black women. It's the
well,
wealthier
so
one.
when I say successful, I
Mhm.
I'm not only talking about their bank accounts. I'm talking about their correct because let me be clear. There are
Yeah.
many celebrities who may not even be making 100,000. We think they
Mhm.
are. Okay,
Mhm.
but after because of their lifestyle and all of that kind of stuff, they're not making as much money as we think that they are. So you can be quote successful in terms of you're talented, you've gone up the ranks in your particular field, whatever the case
Mhm.
may be, you've won all that kind of stuff. You've won awards, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're making millions and millions of dollars. We saw during the pandemic, there's many celebrities that was struggling just as much as other people because
Mhm.
their dollars stopped, all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm talking about more than just yeah, okay, so what are we considering as successful? 500K puts you in the 1%. Is
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
500K puts you in the 1%? I thought it was more than that.
Mhm.
Interesting. Because to me, 500K is not, I mean, it ain't nothing to sneeze at, but it's not that. Like I would think it would be more than that, but interesting. Okay. Melanie says, how long has Jug Jackson been with her husband? Many years, I assume. Yeah, I think she has been married to him since the 90s.
Yeah,
So
because their daughter is older. Their kids are not babies.
are grown. Yeah, yeah. So I,
Mhm.
I think that, yeah, they have been married for quite a while. So this definitely could have been a case where, she's Harvard educated. Harvard does not have,
A lot of Black men.
their diversity is limited. So it
Mhm.
could very well have been, I don't know when they met, but it could have been somewhere like that, back in college, etc. Like you said, being in a particular circle, and this is who you're surrounded with.
Mhm.
I what you call it? Ricky said if you're dating Cubans or plenty of women of any race, they won't be submissive.
I can't stand you.
What?
You dated a Cuban Zirconia woman. What are you talking about?
That is hilarious. Okay.
Get
All
out of here. Go in the corner.
right. Okay, mother says regarding wealth, the word says that Joseph was a wealthy man because the Lord was with him. At the time, he was a slave on the auction block. There are plenty of poor people with lots of money. Interesting. Okay, so how are you? So you're defining poor as outside of monetary, like of what they have in terms of money. Okay. All right. Ricky says 500K plus puts you in the 1%. Let me find out how many Black men are in the 1%. Okay. All right, cool. So he confirmed that. Okay. Black says I didn't really notice until Harry and Meghan. Okay. Okay, didn't notice until Harry and Meghan.
It
Uh
was an uproar when he married a sister. My God.
let me just
Just
say
had
this
to
before I read
leave.
this other comment. Um with I'm not the type that I'm not all into the royals and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't really I didn't even watch the wedding. I didn't follow their journey, all that stuff. I didn't follow.
I
But
did.
because it was everywhere, I saw clips of the ceremony. And let me
Mhm.
tell you, I said, "Oh, she's blackety black. Like she's
Uh-huh.
black black for real. Like
Like her
she's
mama.
naturally black." And I
Yeah.
did not know that because let's be honest, there are some black people that were not really raised black in
Within
the
the black
black
culture.
culture.
Yeah.
They are really their skin is brown, but
Mhm.
really they have not really embraced the black culture.
Mhm.
So honestly, I judged her. I judged her by I guess I don't know by the way I didn't know much about her anyway. So I
Well,
just
yeah, I mean,
assumed.
I don't think anybody really knew because of I mean, I did follow her. I didn't follow her until her and Harry connected. So I did was being nosy and was looking up her stuff. And
Mhm.
when I saw her mama, I was shocked because the lifestyle that she lived, what really wasn't like the black culture. And the shows that she was on wasn't. It was on what Suits or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And
I
on
didn't really know
there,
she was black. Honestly,
yeah,
I didn't know she was black because with your straightened hair and stuff, like she can look like she's not, honestly.
okay. She
You
looked
know,
next to me. But
yeah.
on Suits, she was they always had her with a white guy. She like pretty much all the stuff that all the shows that she's been in and she always was connected to a white guy.
Yeah.
So nobody really knew because I don't even think she don't doesn't even talk to her white father. She doesn't have a
Mm.
relationship with him, even though
Okay.
she
Okay.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I was pleasantly surprised because I'm blackity black, obviously. And I was like, oh, okay,
Mama's getting there proud, like, hey y'all, my daughter's marrying. Yes, she is.
I mean,
Hello.
it was a beautiful thing because
Yeah.
it was a representation. She fully and unapologetically represented her culture, and
Mhm,
so yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
mhm,
So I appreciated that. Okay, human beings live in houses, bodies of different colors. If someone gets with a person because of the color of their skin or any outside stuff, is shallow and not satisfactory.
mhm.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. So let's talk about that a little bit. We talked about the different reasons that some people may say that, oh, you know what, I feel like once I get into this on this level, then this is the room I'm in, or this is the room I'm trying to get in. So I feel like maybe I need to, if I have a better chance, if I have this person that is non-black by my side. Okay.
Mhm,
Let's talk about um the reality that
mhm,
there are times and cases where people have that mindset. And I will let me so we're talking about successful black women, and
mhm,
as you said before, I think that the reasonings can be different. Okay, I think that traditionally when we think of successful black men getting with white women, there has been an assumption and even confirmation by some of these men that their mindset is that this is better.
mhm.
This is who deserves.
I.e. the comment from Dexter.
Right. Yeah. This is better. This is who deserves to be in this room with me. This is who fits into this lifestyle with me. Now, mind you, yes, the black woman I was carrying me on her back as I struggled up. But as soon as I got up, then, now this is what now I'm in a position where I can acquire what I have always thought was better.
Mhm.
Some men have that mentality. Okay,
Yeah.
for women, black women who end up with white men, I think it's different. I think, and this is some of the, I think it was an article in the Washington Post that talked about how, as I said, even the depictions of black women being partnered with white actors on like TV shows and films and stuff, it's usually, you know, darker skinned black women, whether they're
Mhm,
brown, caramel, mocha. chocolate, whatever, they are partnered with white men where there's no question mark about that this is a Black woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, they referred to on the dating sites that there was they took a survey and they said it was some high percentage of that, like 40 something percent said that Black women were usually not getting as much response,
Yeah.
interaction on the dating sites. Like Black women, and definitely a certain type of Black women, was kind of on the bottom of the totem pole in
Yeah.
terms of desirability.
They said we
But
were least desired. Yeah.
exactly. So when you have that, there's a rejection element
Mm.
to the equation. And now you, what you do, you've dug in, you've gotten your education, you've started your business, you've done all of these things to, elevate yourself. And the man who sees you, who from the door loves your chocolate, your deep chocolate skin, and your full lips, and your, round face or whatever it is, and your kinky curly hair, from the door is a non-Black man. A Black woman, I believe, is more prone to be open to that in that arena, simply because she's not been embraced by her own, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
No, I wholeheartedly think that is definitely one of the reasons why Black women end up with white men, especially Black women of a certain color, or a certain look. Because I have noticed, and I always, I'm like, you know what? Because I don't get approached a lot by Black white men. I mean, I don't, but every time I see a white guy, it is with a woman who is of darker skin, or she's more natural looking, or she looks, there's no question that she is Black.
Mhm,
And I see that more often
mhm.
being with white men. And again, y'all, we're talking about successful Black women, or women, of a certain status or whatever. Because yes, we know that there's gold diggers.
Mhm,
We
yeah.
know that there are Black women who go with old white men, and they looking for a come up, and they looking for somebody to pay their bills. So we're not saying that doesn't exist, but we're
Mhm.
saying women like Kamala, and um, Judge Jackson, and women that's think about Judge Jackson. She did go to Harvard. One, also, the way that she looks is not the type that you see that they put as saying attractive with on the rappers videos. And when Black men are putting
Yeah,
if most of the Black men on television, if you want to talk about the media, what they show, because the media does show the masses, to the masses, they make it seem like dark skinned Black women are not attractive, and they don't have them as the main joint on their videos, and all that stuff. It's always
yeah,
light skinned women, or exotic women, or mixed looking women, or whatever.
yeah,
um
yeah.
so I'm sure she probably went through the whole, she too dark, or she not pretty, or I don't
Mhm.
like her natural hair,
Or
you
just
know,
being completely ignored. I
or,
mean,
yeah, or not noticed.
let's keep it real.
Yeah, I have my friends who are brown skin or darker skin. They get disgusted because Black men will be like, "Oh, you're pretty for a dark girl, or you're pretty for a brown skin
Oh
girl."
God.
What the hell? Like, it's just such a turn off, because I'm like,
Yeah.
but your mama dark. So do you say that to your mama? Do you say it to your
Yes.
grandmother? Like, to your little sister? You
Yeah.
looking at your family, you're like, oh, we all right for dark skinned folks. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make it literally makes my stomach turn.
Yeah,
But
there are definitely there is that self-hate element to
yeah,
some of the scenarios.
yeah.
I'm
Some of
gonna go ahead. You were about to say
No, I
something?
was saying some of them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, some of the scenarios. I'm gonna name some women who are Black, who either are currently with or were married to white men. So we already talked about two. Jodie Turner Smith. You know
Who
who
that?
that is? The
No.
actress from Queen and Slim.
Oh yes, she married the guy from Dawson's Creek.
Yes, she's married
Yes,
to the guy from Dawson's Creek.
and he
Uh,
loved her dirty draws. Jeez. You really don't.
Right, and usually it's that type of energy when in
Mhm.
particular when it is a black woman with a white or non-black man, okay? I'm gonna jack up her last name, Sedabi, the
The
one
Precious Girl?
Precious, the one from
Yes.
Precious, the actress, she is with a white man,
Yeah.
okay? Um, Serena Williams,
Yeah.
her husband is white, okay? We already talked about Meghan Markle. Eve, the
Mhm.
rapper slash actress, her husband is white. Tina Turner. After
Mhm.
her after her round with Ike Turner, I guess she was like,
I would be done too.
brothers forever.
She's like, I can't, I won't, and I will not. It gives me PTSD. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, and I'm sure that I mean it seems like her and her husband have a strong connection and all of that kind of stuff, that he's been a huge part of her healing. Um, but so it may have been a subconscious thing, but I would not be surprised if her experience with her black abusive husband did not cause her to completely say, I don't want I want to go completely opposite, um Diana Ross was
Mhm.
married to a white man. Whoopi Goldberg was married to a couple of white men.
Mhm.
Um, Melody Hobson. Now, some of y'all may not know who
Who's
that
that?
is. She is a rock star in the business arena, in the financial arena, but she's married to George Lucas, Star Wars, George Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Okay. His wife is a rock star in the
Mhm.
business arena. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Tamara Mori, the twins from Sister Sister.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so one is married to a black man, a black actor, and the other one
Mhm.
is married to a white man.
Mhm.
Andy Newton is married to a white man. Iman, the
Mhm.
actress, not the actress, the model, was married
Model.
to David Bowie.
Yeah.
Um,
Rest his soul. God rest his soul. Rest in peace,
yes.
David.
I did not know that Alfre Woodard, but I'm not surprised, but she's been married to a white man for decades.
Who's Alfred Holder?
She's the actress. She's an actress. If you knew her, okay, she's played in Love and Basketball, The Mother, Got
Oh,
Two
from
Guys.
Eve, with the dimples. Does she have dimples?
I
Right?
I don't think so. She has her eyes are really big. Alfre Woodard. Do y'all know who Alfre Woodard is? Y'all
Is she from
Google
Eve's
her.
Bayou? Is she from Eve's Bayou?
No,
Oh,
that's Debbie Morgan.
okay. No, 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 not the main lady, her sister on
Her
Eve's
sister
Bayou.
that was
The,
the
the reader, the sidekick lady or whatever.
Yeah, no,
That's
Alfred.
not
I
her.
don't think Alfred Woodard was in Eve's Bayou. No. Yeah,
Hold
but Google her,
on.
you'll see. And then Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams, a actress, singer, former
Somebody
beauty
said
queen.
Holly Berry. Holly Berry done come back black though,
Oh
child.
yeah, Halle Berry has come back to the black side, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
But notice Halle Berry. Her children are with white men.
Mm-hmm.
Both of her children are with white men. So,
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know
you
she was
see who it
married.
is? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, Ricky, you said that's a double standard with Tina Turner. What do you mean?
what,
Do
Ricky?
tell. Do tell. Do tell. Black women are the crown jewels for some Caucasian brothers. No one talks about that, but it's the truth. Okay, do tell on that. So you mean that like it's kind of a fetish? Like it's
Yeah,
kind of like
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I
okay.
do agree with that because I've even heard where white people like the contrast, like contrast of the skin, like the dark against the white, the white skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Um I mean, there always can be ulterior motives. You know what I
mm,
mean? Which is why I think that at the end of the day, like if you're connecting with anyone for superficial reasons, and trust me, a business deal is a superficial reason.
mhm,
I know we don't like to, but that is a superficial reason, and it also is a choice. Like
mm,
you very well could still, even though you are raising through the ranks or whatever, there is someone that there is a black, like for black women, successful black women, if the reason is I feel like that I need to connect with this non-black man in order to, get to the next level, which honestly for black women, I don't think that's the primary motivation. I mean,
Mhm.
as overall as a group, I do not think that that is our motivation when we partner with people. We don't typically think that way. I think
Mhm.
black men who do that are more prone to think that way. Now,
Yeah.
I will say that sometimes stability might
Mhm.
be a black woman's motivation,
Mhm.
depending on who she is. That may be
Mhm.
her motivation for partnering with a non-black man.
Yeah.
So being a confident, beautiful, dark chocolate woman who was taught in my home, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, LOL. If we let anyone other than Jesus who made us, it's a problem. If you let anyone what, like make you feel some type of way about your beautiful dark chocolateness.
Mhm. I know it's so weird because in our family, we have the darkest of dark chocolate in the
Mhm.
lightest of light. I probably am probably the lightest, to be honest with you, and the
Yeah,
lightest of light
probably. Yeah.
in our household. So
Mhm.
it's like I see all shades of brown as beautiful. And I know this is getting off a little bit of subject, but just of what Mama Shabita said, like
Mhm.
we weren't taught to even think that way. And if we even a little bit thought we thought that daddy would check, daddy would check us real quick. If we was laughing at that light skin joke too hard, now that
Yeah.
ain't funny. So
Mhm.
I remember dating someone, and I don't know if he thought I was going to be impressed with this. I guess other light skin, I don't know, but he was like, "Oh, I don't date women darker than you. Like I like light skinned women." I'm like, I said, "But your mama is dark, and you are
Yeah.
dark. So that means do you not think she's attractive?" I ended up not being with him because I thought that was so unattractive, and that
Yeah.
is a reflection of self hate.
Yeah.
But you even have some of. I remember a video came out with football players. It was all black football players. Each one of them had a white woman. These ignorant Negroes did a cheer and said to having light skinned babies. That was their cheer. Cheers to us having light skinned babies. And the white women just like, that's right, baby. And it went
Listen,
viral. And they got ripped to shreds.
I'm sure, and they should have, and then ripped again and again
Yes.
and again.
And all of them were dark skinned black men.
And see,
All
this
of them.
is what I'm talking about. That's when I say that element of self-hate, we cannot ignore that there is a strong element of self-hate when it comes to some of black men's reasoning for partnering with non-black women. That's just the reality of it. And the proof is in the pudding. It comes out. Now, I will say you spoke about our siblings. We have a couple of siblings who are married to non-black people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So our family is definitely mixed in or whatever. As a matter
Mm-hmm.
of fact, our youngest brother is beautiful dark chocolate. He literally
Mm-hmm.
looks like our father, except for he's dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And he's beautiful,
Very
and
beautiful. He's
like
so beautiful.
yes, and so but I often wonder because they're so well, we getting a little bit off, but that's okay because it's all relative.
Right.
It's all connected, in my opinion, when we're
Yeah.
talking about these subjects of how we make our choices in terms of
Mm-hmm.
who we're going to partner with and what our motivations are. And in this country in particular, we cannot ignore the residuals of slavery. We cannot ignore colorism, which is rampant in the
Mm-hmm.
black community. It is
Mm-hmm.
horrible. See those athletes that you're referring to,
Mm-hmm.
their ignorance and
Mm-hmm.
they're thinking that, yeah, blah blah blah, but they were because they're so steeped in colorism and self-hate. And
Yeah.
then this is the other thing people want to hide behind, well, my preference. I get my preference, it's my preference, but have you ever questioned yourself as to what is your preference based on?
Right.
What is it based on? And until you get real with yourself about that, and some people don't want to go, a lot of people don't want to go down that trail
Yep.
because it will reveal the ugliness in their own heart and the brokenness and the self-hate in their own
Mhm.
heart. Like you said, your mama sitting up here, deep dark chocolate, and you swear up and down you love your mama, but yet
Mhm.
you want to get the furthest thing away from her. Now, my thing is, this is the other thing, if you genuinely walk in love with someone who happens to be
Mhm.
non-black, and it is from the purest places of that, like literally, if like the show Love is Blind, which I'm in the middle
Mhm.
of watching the current
Mhm.
season.
The current one, did you see the first season?
Yeah, I saw the first season. Yes, I saw the first season. Yes, so I'm
She
watching.
never dated white men or nothing.
Right, and they were one of my favorite couples, but this is the
Mhm.
thing, so it's one of those things, literally, you can, if you would choose this person without ever seeing them, if it's
Mhm.
just by their spirit, their character, their personality, and you chose them and you had no idea what they look like, then to me, it's like, okay, you know that this is out of a pure place. But if
Mhm.
you're thinking, well, I don't want my babies to have big noses and dark skin, you know,
Mhm.
you drank the Kool-Aid and you
Right.
still drinking it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want my child looking like a gargoyle either, but I mean, that's a gargoyle. I still want him to. I don't care about the skin color of being black. I just don't want no gargoyle.
What is a okay? What is a gargoyle, Carrie?
A hideous creature.
I know, but what does that entail? What does that entail? What do you consider a gargoyle when you're imagining what that person looks like? What does that entail?
I dated one. Damien.
Okay, huh?
Damien. He's a gargoyle. And I was looked at him from the deep his spirit. I did not find him attractive at all, but I thought he was a good person. He turned out to be as ugly as his insides, which made him look even uglier. Damien's a gargoyle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I cannot disagree with you on that one. It was them demon brows, girl. Them demon brows got me from the
Exactly. I
jump.
want to look like the demon, and he looked like one.
Oh God. Okay. Races that participate in arranged marriages are based on family stability, aka business deals, but they seem to work sometimes. Okay, arranged marriages. Okay. Um, yeah, well, so you know what, when I think about arranged marriages, I that's such a foreign concept for us in Western, in Western traditions and Western society. Um, but I think that what I would like about that, if you come from a stable family, let's put it that way, where folk ain't
Mhm,
just absolutely crazy. I mean, we all have a little bit of dysfunction, on different levels. But I think that um, if the families, they choose based on, they know you and they know that other person, and they then think that not only for the larger family but for the two individuals it would be a good thing, then
mhm,
I think that type of thing could actually work, because sometimes, you don't, how we do it with the emotions and this, that, the other, then you can be blinded by certain things. But if it's really like your family is really looking out for you on multiple levels, because
mhm.
I know someone in their okay, but I cannot get the word Vietnamese,
Please, yeah.
and there was an arranged situation, and I
Mhm.
initially I was alarmed for the young lady. I was like,
Well,
no, don't force her to do this, don't, but she's very introverted, all of this stuff, and it was a kind of, the family was being a little pushy about they were
mm.
being a little pushy about it, and I didn't feel good about it. But let me tell you, it happened, and she has blossomed.
Oh,
She has blossomed.
listen, I'm all for arranged marriages. I'd rather y'all pick my husband If somebody gonna pick my husband, I don't mind. I know my family gonna look out for me. They're gonna make sure all the boxes are checked. I do not
Listen.
mind. I understand. The older I get, I more so understand the concept of arranged marriages. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Now what I will say is I definitely, and I made the alarm after I raised the alarm after, my first failed situation,
uh-huh.
that I'm not going to be making this decision on my own.
Mm-mm.
The people closest to me, my family, my best friend, they
Yeah,
will be chiming in on the situation,
yeah,
because I do feel like there is a proper place for that, conduit, that courting process where you have to go through the family as well. I think there's a place for that. So
yep.
um Ricky says colorism is in our blood. Yeah, unfortunately. And
It is.
but us knowing that, we have to be very aware of how we're moving in the world, you know what I mean? And start questioning ourselves, because there are subconscious biases that we're operating in a lot of times, and again, it's subconscious, so
Mhm.
Daddy says, when it comes down to selecting a mate, character is king. It doesn't matter what color the outer person is. If you focus on the superficial, then superficiality is what you will get. Pick godly character. He said that in the next part, character. Yes, I agree. I agree with you completely.
Can
Completely.
I give me 1 second, really quick? I need to go get my charger. My battery is like draining.
Oh God, yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. I'll continue to read comments while you're getting
Okay.
your charger.
Okay.
How you say the name. What name are you referring to, Lola? What name are you referring to? I'm late on getting to your comment. Carrie out here dating scavengers. Lord have mercy. Yeah, yeah. We had to get a little bit of definition on what that meant, girl. Would you have had kids with him? I can answer that one for you. No. Absolutely not.
Hell to the no.
Hell to the no.
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
Oh God, none of us had a good feeling about him. Oh, I'm so glad you got away from him. Lord have mercy.
I know, I know. Everybody was so quiet when when y'all made him. No one was conversing. Daddy didn't say a word to that man. Daddy is nice. Daddy
Uh-huh.
did not say a word. When I saw Daddy was not trying to even get to know him, I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work.
No, because you know what? And we're a very spiritual family.
Yeah,
Somebody, when you come around us, trust and believe we're going to pick up on your spirit.
yeah,
So it don't matter how much you're fronting or whatever, which is why there are some people that don't want to come around the family, because they know they on some BS and
yep,
they gonna get sniffed out.
yep,
You
and
gonna get
called out too.
sniffed
Looked
out.
out and called out like, hmm.
Yeah.
I
Mm-mm.
remember Martin, our cousin. It was like he saw something I didn't see. This is before my divorce, and we were all out and my ex husband was with us,
Mhm.
and Martin was literally about to fight him because he was like, "I know you phony, you phony, you." I was like, "What happened? What happened?" He was like, "He's phony, Kay. I'm telling you." And he saw something I didn't see, and I guess he saw him do something that I did not catch. But Martin was not a fan. Was not a fan.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
definitely a good one to sniff out the BS, and he does not mind calling it out.
In
Trust.
the moment.
In the moment, yes. Lola
Yes,
says sometimes unattractive people make beautiful kids. That's true. That
that's
and
true.
again,
That's true.
unattractive people are. I never call anybody ugly. Let me not ugly physically. Now,
Right.
somebody can have an ugly heart. I
Mhm.
will call that junk out. But I don't call people ugly physically, because number one, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I literally believe that there is something physically beautiful about every single person.
Right.
Literally every single person. Like I've looked at men that are not traditionally attractive, and oh my God, I've honed in on, like, oh my God, this man's eyelashes are about to hit the freaking shades.
Right. You have to look that hard. I know there's something nice about him. What is his eyelashes.
Girl, no, it stood out. It's like, you know what? It really did. It stood out. It's one of those things because if you look somebody in the eyes, if you
Mhm.
look somebody in the eyes, it's like certain things will just, stand out. So, um, okay. Hey Q. Okay, I've never dated a white man. I don't know if I could date a white American. It would take the audible voice of God and two dogs barking the Star Spangled Banner.
Same, sis. I said the same thing. I
Yay.
don't mind dating a white man, but I would have a hard time dating an American white man. And I did date an American white man, and I said I would never date an American white man again. That's how horrible my experience
Wow. Interesting.
was. Mhm.
Queuing, I'm interested. Why are you so adverse to it? Why are you so adverse to it? What, now Q, I know
History.
this.
They grandparents. Somebody in the family don't like black folks, and somebody gonna slip up and say the N word. Somebody gonna try it.
Listen, there's that possibility. That's true. But
Don't
let's
nobody feel
keep
like
it
flipping tables
real.
at Thanksgiving.
We have, as black folks, we have our prejudices as well. Meaning that
You do.
that white man coming around in a black family reunion, he gotta have some thick skin.
Oh, he
If
gonna get
it's
talked
a
about.
traditional black family, he
Yes.
better be able to rock and roll because he cannot be sensitive. He cannot be like he has to be able to roll because he is gonna get roasted. He's gonna get tested. If it's a
Mhm.
traditional black family, he gonna get tested. Like that's just how we
I,
do.
yeah, I appreciate it in your face roasting, but I don't want no undercover low key shade. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
mean
Like,
spirited, like
right,
actually mean
mean spirit.
spirited.
So
Yeah.
what are your so where your parents? You know, where your parents do? Is your
Mhm.
dad in your life? Were
Mhm.
you raised in a single family home? You know, like shade
Yeah.
stereotype. The guy who I dated, I was on a date with him, and his ex called him while we were on our date and called him an in lover. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he was arguing with her on the phone while I'm sitting there eating my food. I was like, "What did she say?" He was like, "I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it." And he told me what she said.
Which he should not have done. And
Right.
what is he doing answering his phone while y'all on the date? See, there's so many missteps in
There's a
this
lot of
situation.
missteps. Well, on our first date, he told me how his mother was so shocked that he was going on a date with a black woman, and I was his first black woman, and she was asking him, "Who were you going on a date with?" And she named all the races but black. Is she Asian? Is she Hispanic? Is she white? Is she Polish? Well, what else could she be? She's black. Oh,
I find it
this is why.
interesting that he shared this information with you. It sounds like that this is an example of that, the
The
fetish
fetish.
that we were talking
Fetish.
about earlier. He's curious. He
It
probably
was.
he had never experienced a black woman and he was
Mhm.
curious.
And
And
that's why I ended things mainly because he kept pointing out. This is where I was like, okay, I can't because it was strike three. He kept pointing out how he liked the black men being pissed off that he was with a black woman. He told me this. He was like, they were just so upset. I was like, who? He's like, all the black guys are just looking, they're scowling. Just he thought it was just so funny. And I was like, you know what?
interesting.
I told him, I said, at the end of the day, I like black men. I love black men. I prefer black men. So I don't
Mhm.
think it's funny. I don't think
Yeah.
what you're saying was funny. So I ended things and I never went back again.
Yeah. No, I will say that I did go out with a white gentleman and when I say that I mean I we were friends. I did go out on a date with him. I did not make him officially my man, but I will say that my attraction to him was because he had some black man swag.
Oh, yes.
For me personally, like, cause I prefer black men. Like I'm just attracted to black men. And so the only way someone else that is not black would get my attention is if he actually reminded me of
Of a
a
black
like there
man.
was something about him that, gave black man energy. I'm just saying, like,
He's there's this football player. I don't know what his name is. I need to find out what his name is. But he got black man swag. His ball, like all the sisters like him. They like, who is this? And of course, he has a black woman, but he's a football player. He dressed like a black man with swag, like walks like a black man with swag. He had to have been raised around black folks, or he's studying them or something. But
there's times when, especially athletes and everything, if they've grown up, playing
yeah,
sports with black men and all, they take on some
culture.
black culture, some black
Mhm.
swag, so okay, so D says, Carrie, would you do Married at First Sight? It's a show on Lifetime.
H to the no. No, ma'am. If I do anything like that, I would probably do Love is Blind because you're not marrying them. It's a choice. Like when you see each other, you'd be like, oh, okay. But Married at First Sight, no, ma'am. Because you're
Yeah.
getting married.
Yeah, yeah. Even though, yeah, it's interesting, all these reality shows. Okay, Mother says the world is victims of media mind control. Music video producers are expressing themselves. We decide if we let their choices affect our esteem. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And see, like some of these artists have started to be called out and have been called out on multiple, like people like Tyrese. Like I
Mhm.
remember there was a big blow up. This is a few years ago where they had something in their cast description for something that they were like a video they were casting, and they literally had the balls to put in this cast description the, uh, the most we only the most beautiful women, something, and then they went into describing like the tears. And of
Mhm.
course, brown girls were on the
Wow.
very bottom, and his butt got toe and chewed up and toe again, and it
Who?
needed
Tyrese?
Tyrese. Yes.
So this was a movie he was producing?
It was a music video or something like that.
A,
But
a music
that whole crew, Tyrese, the other guy that he was in, Tank,
Tank,
they
Genuine.
they are suspect, and these are chocolate brothers that have some self-image issues. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like you can definitely tell when it's that type of energy. It's
Oh
really,
yeah, you got Kanye West, you got 50 Cent, 50 Cent and Lil Wayne. They got told off because they made some stupid comment talking about exotic women, and they didn't look like that in their neighborhood. They talking about women who didn't look black. And Lil Wayne
yeah.
with his ugly. Now that's a gargoyle. If you want an example of a gargoyle, Lil Wayne. That's a gargoyle that I would not have babies with. No. Anyway,
Oh,
he was
child.
like making a comment, like laughing all extra hard. So I'm like, yeah, you right, 50. They don't look like that in our neighborhood. And it was all like non-black women, exotic looking women who, did not look like they were sisters. And his daughter, Lil Wayne's daughter, actually got upset with him for a while because she's a dark-skinned black woman. And she's like, my mama's a dark-skinned black woman. You don't date anybody who looks like us, and no one like who looks like us is in your music videos. These women that you say are attractive and exotic looking, they don't look like us. Like, what do
Yeah.
you mean? Like, Dad,
Yeah.
I'm your daughter. So these
Yeah.
men, you gotta understand, like the way that this colorism stuff, it affects people around you, your kids, your mama, your aunties, everybody. So ignorant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, what do
Me,
you say to this statement? Black says you seem picky.
I'm picky now. I wasn't picky then. That's why I dated a gargoyle. He slipped through the cracks. Slipped through the cracks.
What was your initial attraction to Damon? They trying to get all into your personal
Dang.
business. You shouldn't even say the man's name. Now
I
they
know.
calling him by
I
his
put, I
name.
put his name out there. Dang. Luckily, well, he ain't gonna come around. Um, my initial attraction was honestly his personality. When I was out um hanging out with my sister, he was the only one with a suit on and he looked really nice. I just liked the way he carried himself. And we literally talked that night for like hours. It's like nobody was in the room and we just talked and talked and talked. and he seemed very charming, seemed very intelligent. He took me and my sister out afterwards, and he seemed very super phony. He had the gift of gab. That's the thing. That was the scary part. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because he seemed like he was very leveled and put together, and that he knew what he wanted. He even we met in New York, and I went to his job stuff, and he just seemed like, oh, okay, this seems like a guy who I can actually take it. No, he was unstable in many areas, very unstable, and so yeah, and I wasn't 100% attracted to him physically, but until he opened his mouth and we talked, that's when I was like, okay, he's actually more attractive because of who I thought he was on the inside. But once I found out he was ugly on the inside, that ugliness on the outside really stuck out. And I was like, oh, you're not cute at all. Oh, God. Go away.
Child, listen. Okay, they're calling out the guy you're talking about. Is it Travis Kelce? I'm gonna have to look him up.
Who's Travis Kelce?
Or you said it's a football player that has black man swag. They said he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think that's who. Hold on, let me look him up.
Y'all are all over.
Yes, it's him. It's him. He's so good looking. Hold on, let me pull him up.
I asked because you talked about arranged marriages. Okay, I'm not.
Can you see him? Oh, can you see him?
Kind. Oh yeah, I can see him, but I need to look him up myself so I can see him.
He got swag, honey.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so we're 13 minutes after so we're gonna wrap it up really quickly. But what I wanted to say is that I don't think that successful Black women are overwhelmingly partnering with white men. I don't think that it's an overwhelming thing based on actual real numbers. I think that we're seeing depictions on media because these happen to be high profile individuals. Okay. But overall, I don't think that is the case, nor do I think overall that successful Black men partner with non-Black women. Let me just name a few successful Black men who are with Black women: Morris Chestnut, Will Smith, Boris Cujo, Jay-Z, Rodney Peete, Courtney B. Vance, LL Cool J, Sterling K. Brown, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Denzel, Ice Cube, Barack Obama, Pharrell, Russell Wilson, Jesse Williams, the actor, Chris Paul, Michael Vick, Russell Westbrook. That's just a short list of Black men who chose Black women. Even they're successful. Some of them have been with these women for decades. Some of them have been with these women since high school. Some of them, met them when they became successful and still chose them. So I think that it's a narrative that we don't have to accept, because I know that those are the things that kind of make us feel less than. And I'm talking about for successful Black men and for successful Black women. Like, we do not have to make those choices. We will still get in the rooms. Yes, are there, challenges? Yeah, there's institutionalized stuff. We know that. Okay. Y'all hush. Get off, Will. Y'all need to go back and look at last week. 2 weeks ago, we had a discussion about the slap.
They embarrassing us. Their marriage is embarrassing us.
that don't make them not Black. They still Black.
Ashton Kutcher.
He's been replaced with Ashton Kutcher. What? What are you talking about? Point is, let's stay focused, people.
Everybody was like, "What?" When you said Will Smith, I even paused for a second.
See, that's so wrong. Y'all, you know what? You black
He
people
ain't
are
canceled. They embarrassing us. They was the power black couple that we was proud of. That
yeah.
they ain't go red table talk and all this Will Smith
Listen,
book. They flapping their lips. They ruining our image.
listen. As I said 2 weeks ago, and if you haven't seen it, go back and watch that. It was a really good discussion two
Yes.
weeks ago about the slap. I will say again that Will Smith, he is still a black man that's representing us. He is still they still black, okay? And on top of that, let's give some folks some grace. Okay, this man has represented well for decades, and we gonna try to kick him, take his black card because he did something ignorant. Yes, it was ignorant. Yes, but come on. I will not participate in the cancellation. No, I still love
He's
me some
not
Will
getting
Smith.
canceled, but they marriage is canceled.
Listen, let them deal with that. What did y'all say? We are on the borderline with the entanglement mess, but the slap got them canceled. Hush, Ricky. Girl, Jada been trying to leave, and he may very well tip off to one of them white girls he been sleeping with. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible.
Oh
Oh
God,
my.
I
Listen,
love it.
listen. Y'all just pray for them. Pray for the Smiths. That's all I can say.
Don't pray for the Smiths. Don't pray for the Smiths.
Sister, did you have anything else to say on this
No,
topic?
I don't have as far as the subject, like you said about black women, successful black women dating white men. I know that percentage isn't super high, like we talked about. And I did, I know that we still love our brothers, and I feel like it's not always a case of other than love. There are cases where people do fall in love and they just are connecting that way. So we also have to be mindful of that as well. I will also point out that I noticed that a lot of black women have become more open to dating outside of the race because this is another subject because they say black men ain't marrying them. And also because of the whole ratio thing, and black men are not being committing to them. So they
Mhm.
opened up dating other races due to they want black men, but it seemed like black men ain't, trying to commit and marry black women. So, and
Yeah.
if you notice, these white guys, they get married pretty quickly. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. That's a good point
Mhm.
because I mean, if we just look at the list of women that we talked about that's with white men, let's take can't nobody say nothing to me about Serena Williams.
Mhm.
She gave black men
She
a
did.
chance, a good
She did.
chance. She
She
knew
did.
what she wanted. The people that she connected with, they were not wifing her. And so
Mhm.
she found it elsewhere. You know what I mean? There's a number of women that we can say that that was the case, right?
Mhm.
Also, and this is what it goes back to what you said earlier. Um, they were in the article that I was reading, they were saying that there is a discrepancy between the advancement that black women are making in
Mhm.
terms of, business, education, etc., wealth building, and that black men are not, haven't really been on that same trajectory. And
Mhm.
so for that, in that case, then, it goes back to that whole thing, who's in the room that can kind of roll with you in the
Mhm.
way that you're trying to do life,
Yes.
and
Lifestyle.
sometimes that's also a factor as that separates black men and black women. I say that we need to be on the come up together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's no
Mhm.
reason why, but like I want us to stop with this, they are stopping us. Okay, even if there's obstacles, it can still get done. People come
Yeah.
here from other countries that don't know a lick of English and end up excelling and
Yep.
end up there's Africans that come to this country and end up getting multiple degrees and ended up having so we
Yep.
really need to stop giving ourselves those excuses and really be intentional about building together as black um Black folks, if that's what you desire. So
Y'all are evil.
listen, I'm gonna learn how to if some I don't know who this is, they just fell up in here, but we not doing that. We not doing that. So we gonna learn how to start with some blockages. Some blockages. 19 million unborn Black Americans who have been dissected in the womb since 1970 reflect reproductive choice and a woman's right to choose. Where is this coming from?
Where is this coming from?
And
Dinner?
what how is that relevant? How is that relevant? Yeah, so that means that it's time for us to go off and we're going to investigate how do we
Oh,
block.
I can show you. If you hover over the name, the three little dots, and you click on the three dots, it says put user in timeout or block user.
Oh, okay.
So you have a
Okay.
choice to put them in timeout.
Yeah, okay, y'all. Because I'm down for us, kind of, freely. Hey, I'm down with everybody having their opinions or whatever, but what we're not gonna do is some ignorance. Okay. So I don't even know what that was all about. The trolling. Yeah. Okay, so but anyway, okay, it is 22 after the hour. I think this was a great discussion. Thank y'all
Yeah,
for rocking with us tonight. If you
yeah,
have not, we reiterate, please go to the page and subscribe, turn on your notifications, and make sure that you share. If you find value in this, we do these most Tuesdays
yes.
based on our schedule, but we try to meet y'all here on Tuesday nights and ask y'all to come rock with us and have a conversation with us because we all about that good love. Okay.
Make sure you
So
like it too. Like it, like
yes,
the the
like
video.
the live, the video. Yes, make sure to like the video and make sure to follow and subscribe to the page. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, then. Well, we're gonna say good night, everybody. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Yes. Bye.